welcome to another. It would be good if I put the right scene on. Welcome to another Kingscrusher ICC Blitz Banter. I'm just going to say hi on stream. Hi all. It's very, very hot here in London at the moment, and there's Wimbledon on as well. I've been looking at that. Hope you guys can check that out on the BBC. It's well worth checking out, even if you don't like tennis. Just from the psychology, it's very, very interesting, I think, to check out the matches. So, actually, there doesn't seem to be any immediate challenge. I think people might be watching Wimbledon, or we're slightly early here, 2 minutes before 9. This could be a tough session because the ICC auto pairing is like the strongest pairing system, I think, online by a long shot. So I'm going to have to go on the 3-minute auto pairing. There's no immediate challenge from one of you guys, so this is going to be a tough first game, I think. Let's go for it. Oh, there is a challenge. Okay. Thank you. I don't have to go immediately on the auto pairing. Okay. Alright. Heron. Hello. So this is Smith-Morrow Gambit just to get a start position, really. Which is, I think, okay for Blitz, at least. If not for normal, longer time controls. I think Queen E1, just to break that pin. And this diagonal might be a bit sensitive, so a bit of prophylaxis there. This bishop's hanging at the moment, so I'm just wondering about... If I played E5, it would be hanging. I'm just wondering about this bishop. I'll do something about that. I think I've got a crude plan of E5, so that's on takes. But he's got bishop F3 and queen E5 here. That's not so easy. I'll put this bishop here. Actually, knight D5. If that queen wasn't protected. All right. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure at the moment what I'm doing. Let's use this G file. Maybe that G file is a novel way of approaching this position now. So bishop E3 or rook G1 immediately threatens mate. I guess he's got rook C3 and knight E2. Have I got F5 here trying to break down? Let him do the exchange sack. He might do it. He might. He does. Wow, wasn't entirely sure he'd do that. That's a bit unpleasant. What about bishop D2? There's knight E2 chain. No, bishop D2. Knight E2. That's a bit disturbing, actually. I didn't really expect that. Can I take on here first? As a sort of knight sack. Bishop D. It's a bit disturbing that that's been played. My pieces are not in great shape here. Yeah, that is a bit disruptive. My pieces are not in great shape here. I could be going down in this very first game. So bishop C5 immediately threatened now. I hope this is playable with the idea D takes, F takes. Very concerned about this position. Very concerned. Okay, rook C1. I'm losing, shedding pawns. Is E5 possible? The F6. This is not what I had in mind at all. But alright, I can't move the bishops and lose the rook. My e5 is loose. There might even be d4 coming up from black. This is a shattered position overall. I'm just clinging onto my pieces here, just for the moment. What do I need to do? Alright, maybe f5 is a bit desperate. So bishop c5 is happening as well. I've got to move this rook out the firing line, I think. And that's somewhere there, at least on the 7th, it might offer some active possibility. Bishop takes, knight takes. f5, knight e4 is happening now. What about this? My back row is weak. I can't take it. Knight e4 is just horrible. Yeah, that knight e4 is just horrible. I think I'm doomed here, but anyway. Yeah, knight e4 is probably just killing. Yeah. I wouldn't have thought about much counterplay here. The only thing I've got going for me is that rook on the 7th. I'll take the king off the sensitive diagonal, so this e3 looks killing. No. Maybe there's bishop c1. Can I have... Is there a possibility of pinning the bishop? I'm glad that bishop c1 exists, but I wouldn't have thought it saves me. Unless I can... Maybe that pin on the bishop is potentially the start of something interesting. I hope. Alright, I could take and take here. Because if he took, that's mating. So he's not queening there. I'm hoping this is a blunder on his part. Because king takes, the form pawn saves me. The good old form pawn. Rook c8 is checkmate there. I think this might have been a miscalculation by my opponent. But otherwise an excellent game. Totally excellent game until this point. Okay, this looks interesting because king takes rook c8 now. Yeah, I think that was a miscalculation there. Unless I'm missing something here. Rook f3? Not sure, rook f3. Okay. Rook f3, I think I could just play king f1. Okay. This looks a lot better than before, I've got to say. I think I'm just going to march my king. If I go to h6, then f5 takes. A rook goes round, there's a check. King there. There's not necessarily mating. But it might be an attacking attempt. King h6 with f5 in mind takes. I'm just thinking the g file. I think his pawns give me enough time. It's not going to be exactly like Nigel Short's Immortal Game. I'm a bishop up, so but unless this is a self-mate attempt by me, I'm not going to be self-mated, am I? If I go to king h6 here, at least his rook has to go back. Can I win one of these pawns? Okay, well, f5. I'm going to try and use this g file. Oh, hold on, e6 now. And I've got this 7th rank, so I'm threatening bishop e5. No, f7, bishop e5 is the threat now. f7.
Check.
And bishop e5. And the king does help in the checkmate.
Checkmate.
Okay, that's very tough first game. Very, very tough. Any other challenges? Who else wants to beat me up? Humiliate me on stream? Who wants to like completely destroy me on stream? Crush Kingscrusher. Anyone? Okay. Let's go to, I don't know, 3 minute or 5 minute. What do you guys prefer at the moment? 3 min or 5 min? Or do you not care? if you want to vote. I'll start with a 3-min just in case. Well, if you want to say, just say. Otherwise, I'll assume maybe 3 minutes for the moment. 3 minutes sometimes feels a bit more frivolous. I could do a 5-minute if there's a vote for a 5-minute auto pairing. Oh, I've just realised something about the 5-minute. My 5-minute rating at the moment, auto pairing, is quite high, which means I'm destined to be beaten the hell out of on the 5-minute auto pairing. It's approaching 2300 at the moment. It dipped actually. So this is a 3-minute auto pairing. The auto pairing, maybe I'm slightly underrated, I think, compared to my 5-minute. So that's why I'm thinking the 3-minute could be an easier time. Factoring in easier time here. Centre game, not the Scotch game. The Scotch game's with knight f3. Centre game is the early d4. And there is a very, very good system for black, but black needs to know it. I'm pretty sure he's playing it at the moment, unfortunately. He's playing it at the moment. This is the move, not queen f4 like the Magnus Carlsen disaster game recently in Blitz, high level Blitz. I think this is not such a dead position yet. Okay, that's annoying. He's not really going to take this pawn. That'd be crazy, wouldn't it? Bishop g5. Okay, can I push this guy back? Oh, hang on, knight f3. I've just gone into knight f3, haven't I? And all sorts of pain as a result of allowing knight f3 like a dummy. Yes, he is munching me to death now. This is not funny. I'm going to be pawnyless at this point. Is he going to just take all my pawns now on the king side? He's going to have a... There's an array of pieces here. I'm hoping his king's behind that. So I'm hoping this backfires. I'm hoping it backfires. But he controls g1, so to actually create a backfire scenario here, if I take with the queen, there's also knight g3. So I end up losing the exchange there as well. That's fun. Ah, okay. If I take with the knight, I lose the centre pawn. Right. Okay. And if I take here, queen f4, he's got bishop e3. So this position doesn't look entirely appetizing at the moment. I gotta say. Although the good news about this position is the queens are still on. Okay, that's slightly good news. And there's some roads to the king here. All right, what's this one about? Bishop takes, queen takes on h7. So no time for knight f2. Bishop takes. Oh yeah, you can win an exchange like that. I've been winning and truly munched here. There's no doubt about it. Oh, I've just blundered the queen as well. You can just take the queen there. And has my connection gone as well to top everything off? I just blundered the queen there. Oh crikey! Let's try another 3-minute auto pairing. Let's see. Can I don't think I can play worse than that. Can I? No, we can find out in this next game. Right, so trying to keep control of the dart squares. Right, I don't mind this position as such. Maybe I should. My excuse is that the weather's it's like really hot. If I play really terribly tonight, in fact, knight g5 looks nasty. Oh my word! Oh my word! Knight g5 looks horrible. What have I done? Already this looks really suspect. Knight G, this looks so suspect. If I took here, I don't know. Can I play for, this looks really suspect with Knight G5. I don't remember this happening usually so much. Can I play this and live to tell the tale? He's got anytime he's got Knight G5 and then winning the Queen. Then we've got Rook F4 and Knight D5. I'll play Rook F4 first. He's got Knight G5 check there, and then he can take with the Rook after. I imagine this is not entirely helpful. Okay.
Check.
Alright, that's with hang on.
Check.
Alright. I get it, that's check, I get that. What about King H6? Knight F7 is double check, or Queen H4 is mating. So I'm losing my Queen, unfortunately, with check. So in fact, this is worse than the previous game. On that note, I think I'm going to try and sip some water for this next game. Okay. If I took here, fell off. Okay, the 3-minute auto-playing is pretty vicious, apparently. So Rook E1 and Bishop C4, or I'll just hold off on Bishop G4. Is Bishop B5 any good? Okay, he's creating some weaknesses this time. It's, sometimes that's good news. D4's weak. D5, you can take on C3. Can I play Bishop G3? Intriguing. I can try this as a sort of pawn sack. I think. I mean, it's something, possibly. Can I exchange off at least that guy to try and weaken his king? Then throw in the check. Now, any naughty stuff here? This is though he's on B2, unfortunately. I can try and protect B2, maybe with this. Keep hold of the centre here. At least there's no Rook D8. But unfortunately, another pawn could be biting the dust. That could be terminal in an IM's hands. Just taking this other pawn. Okay, I'll protect it then. Possibly, you know, I was just thinking B4 and Knight C5. This might be a way of playing the position. Knight C5 might be interesting for those pawns at least, or causing some structural damage. So the situation here, okay. The structural damage, I like the knight actually. I think I'll keep the knight. Rather than cashing it out there, I'm gonna try and get some sort of grip. I was gonna say grip on the position. But it looks a bit doubtful. Can I bring the king in anyway? Now he's exchanging off that. Okay, I'll bring the king in, but this is a pawn down. Right, it was going to be a pawn down. He didn't go for that. I might have to go to pre-move mode soon as we approach the 1 minute each section of the game.
Check.
Knight c4 might do something. There's rook c7. Knight a4 might be more to the point, because b5, knight c5. Right, any nuisance moves for me? Not really. That will have to do.
Check.
Can I get this pawn? He's got a 2-to-1 over there. He's not letting my knight in. He's got a few seconds up. But this game's a little bit of a fight at least.
Check.
Oh, there's rook d3. Alright, can I get the b6 pawn? And try and start pre-moving a little bit, if that's possible. Yeah, or at least get the moves ready in the squares would be something, just to get the moves ready if I'm not getting mated.
Check.
Immediately. That looks as though I've just blundered the rook, haven't I?
Check.
Oh man, I just blundered the rook. That was silly. Oh, I had knight g5 equalising. I could have knight g5 now.
Check.
If he's not careful.
Check.
If he's not careful, king e5. Okay.
Check.
I've only got
Check.
like 12 seconds. Can I do a sort of hold?
Time warning.
He's going to have a time warning. That's right.
Check.
By the system.
Check.
Does he make it there?
Check. Check.
No, I drew on time there. That was very naughty. Sorry, I can only say. Yeah, the only thing to gain from that is the clock is sometimes on the 3 minute. Yeah, the clock. It's the hybrid between bullet and that was very naughty. Yes, I know. He didn't finish me in time. So bishop mate. Hi there. So bishop takes and queen e7 or knight f6. There's always knight d5, so that was queen e4 maybe. So I'm just wondering, can I castle queenside here? Bishop c5. It is. I'm not kidding. It's like playing chess in the sauna here. I haven't really got the most amazing air conditioning system, unfortunately. So water might help. I don't know. They say it's going to be cooler this weekend, which doesn't help this session entirely. Okay. Is that? I thought there'll be. Actually, maybe I missed an opportunity there for something. Knight. Okay, g5, knight h6. You can just double the pawns. My pieces are in the way. He's casting queenside right. Can I play the bishop like this? Or bishop g6? Knight h6, knight f7, knight e5. Right, so knight h6, knight f7, knight e5 is. Well, what else do I do with that knight? It's pretty stuck there. If I can get that position there, I think that's fun to have. relatively speaking, but he's got e5 on the cards. I've got to stop e5 immediately. So this is pretty troublesome actually. What about here, just to stabilize g5? e5 opens up the bishop. Takes, knight takes, bishop takes, queen takes, knight f6. That might not be entirely terrible. Can I take away this d5 square from him? Yeah, maybe the knight can go to e7 if I can sort that out. Queen c7, knight e7. This doesn't look right, does it? This looks pretty horrible in dark squares. He's quite close to mating me. Are my rooks not connected? c5 looks like a terrible concession, but I can't really. I don't think I've got that many choices. That d5 square is again his. And the thing is, I don't like my rooks. What about rook h7? Is that a drastic way of activating the rook? Knight d5, queen f8, with the idea of hang on, I've also got bishop e8 here. That's something to bear in mind. Bishop c6 to guard d5. This looks kind of a torture position, but anyway, I don't want to like dwell on that aspect too much. Alright, that seems a bit of a reprieve for me, because I can play bishop c6 to at least handle knight d5 in some way. Not ideal, but in some way. Okay, the rook's holding the knight. Knight d5, queen f7. Is that possible? Queen f7? And then maybe knight e7. Knight e7. Now bishop f6. Bishop takes d5. Okay, so that seems as though bishop f6, bishop takes d5 is plausible to win that bishop on f6. So I'm hoping I'm untangling slightly. If I took and then bishop e5, getting rid of his good, amazing knight. If he plays a4, bishop d7, I don't think there's any major punishment there. A4. I could also throw in this check. b7 is already protected by the rook. Actually, isn't c4 threatened to win that queen in this position? Funny enough, c4. So a4, c4, queen a2. Unfortunately, that gives his queen that square. So it might not even be worth doing here. If I play this. But it is a sign my position is better than earlier, I think. The good news is, okay, let's just avoid losing a rook. So bishop, queen f8, is that a way? So if bishop f6, queen f6. Queen f8 double defense against his double attack. Bishop c7 loses c5. Rook c8 loses the bishop. So it's like by elimination. I think queen f8. That's a bit of a pain, that move, isn't it? I'm trying to cling on here. Let's move this out of the firing line. That protects c5. Which means now I think I might be threatening bishop c7. Because the queen moves b3, I take on a5. And the queen's also protecting c5 here. So I think this is the first bit of good news in the entire game so far. Bishop c7. tactically it's good news, I think, because this bishop is now skewered. So queen b3, bishop takes a5. I don't know whether else the queen is going. Knight c4. Okay, there's a few more problems. Knight c4. I think the worst is out. I can take on e1. Just got to watch out for being mated. The rook's holding b7. So knight a5. I think I just need to move this, or stop knight a5 immediately with this. Okay, he is threatening mate. I'm hoping I can do this. Alright, that was a tense game. Yeah, I think I was positionally getting done over there actually. Let's have a quick look. I think the evaluation, I expected it to be like +2 or something. It didn't look very appetizing. It's approaching +2 here. Right about here, h4. Now here it's definitely looking, there might be a more incisive move here, knight d4. Alright, it's below, generally below +2. Oh, I think here I missed something, bishop b5. That was, is that winning the queen? Yeah, the same tactic from earlier. That's strange that's there. I guess the queen hasn't got that many squares. This again is bad. I should have played apparently check.
Check.
And if here rook takes his, oh yeah, possible. So the check.
Check.
Bishop d2. This is apparently equal-ish. Okay, there's another challenge anyway. So okay, I'll accept. J Russell 2. Oh, I didn't mean that. Okay, we'll go into sort of knight c6 French, sort of, maybe not. So this is just some weird, I don't know what it is. It looks as though I need to do something about this bishop for a start. He's blocked in his pawn there as well. I think I'll try and make it aggressive with f5 and bishop f6. So, yeah, I'll go with this bishop f6 idea. This looks potentially interesting because that f file could be dangerous. Queen e8, quick queen h5. Alright, I think this is looking up. This is it looks okay, this position actually to me. Or maybe even like c6 for queen b6. It looks okay. This is because the bishop's kind of hemmed in. The f-file looks not that bad. I could be being over optimistic here, but with queen b6, oh, actually I should have maybe taken the other way. I think I took the wrong way there. That was silly. But I have got queen b6 here. Does that try and force him to play e3? Maybe this is interesting anyway, this way, because there's bishop d7 and bishop b5, which wouldn't have been possible if I'd taken that way. That would have been that diagonal. But here, let's see. I mean, maybe, in fact, e3 is also, if that prompts the f-pawn to move, I'm not sure that's a big deal. So bishop d7 for a moment. And there might be a plan of rook f7 here. Well, there's bishop b5 winning exchange now. Yeah, that just is good news tactically to win the exchange. I can probably double after. I still take here. Now this blot, so it's not threatening mates just yet. So can I just take these guys off? and rook c8. It still looks like an exchange up. If rook b5, rook c2, double attacks b2 and f2. This looks clear. This looks clear. That's, well, when I say clear, I'm not entirely convinced now. Wait, maybe b6 is the move. So if he takes, I'm still on for rook c2, which hits a2. So that's going to be tricky to defend a2. So okay, if rook b5, yes. Okay. Nevertheless, okay, I'll do this. So actually, that was a bit of a dumb move. I think it was good on f7. So that rook c2 was on f2. In fact, can I retract that idea? Can I just go back to f7 here? That wasn't the quickest way to get to f7. Okay, the advantage also is I'm protecting a7, so this makes sense, defensive and attacking. That pawn's pinned, so yeah, this looks like the way to go. I could probably use this rook and maybe get my king, like in the previous game, to h3 or something. If I use my king, or g5, g4, if my king was on g6, g5, king g6, g4, king h4, rook h2 will be mate. As it stands, I don't know, g5, g4 there. Yeah, I think I just go with this. Is that mating? Well, it is now.
Checkmate.
Okay, thanks, J. Russell. Okay, so I risk getting another hiding on the 3-minute auto pairing. I'll get. I don't know. It's dangerous stuff. Let's go. 3-minute auto pairing game. Maybe I'll try keep it the Slav. Right, so this is, I think, a solid start to the game, this position. This is sort of trendy, I believe. I'll wait for him to move that bishop if I can grab a tempo. Okay, this I don't mind if e5. Oh, he's letting me have a pawn. That's good news, surely. He's letting me have a pawn there. Okay, so what's happening here? E5 looks as though this is all pretty good news at the moment. D4 looks good. Yep. I don't think I've got too many problems here in this position. I can probably lock in this bishop safely, and let's just do that for a moment. What am I doing with my bishop? What can I do here? I've locked in that bishop. So I suppose g5 could be vulnerable. I could create a fortress with f6 and hold b6. So I think if I play f6, just in case and use that h file, can I put my knight on to f4? It would be an ideal thing, but he's yeah, let him exchange off a pair of rooks. Does it matter? He's not doing that anyway. I wanted to get knight f4 in. I don't think that knight's doing anything too much dangerous at the moment. So if I can do this, Now, Queen F7 doesn't appear to do much. This one? Alright. This G2 pawn, is that an issue? Can I try and go down to G3 or something? Hit F7 when he's not looking. I mean C4. Ask that knight to move back. Maybe King E7. What about Rook G3? Hang on a sec. Knight moves back. Rook G3. I don't think his check is all that. If I can chip away at his pawns here. These are all on dark squares. Holds against Rook H8 check, trying to avoid that forcing move possibility. Okay, his knight's kind of
Check.
still unfortunately a pain. My rook's not that great. Is that F5 here and then E4? You would take Rook C3. It looks like an active possibility. Rook C3 for Rook C1. I'm trying to open up the bishop, and Rook C1 looks. There's two connected passed pawns here. On D3 takes. That's probably not enough, is it? Just lost the exchange there. Okay. Maybe the bishop can go to C3. I'll take that. So E2, bishop E5, bishop C3, E2 is the plan. I've got the two connected passed pawns. That should count for something. If I go here, so I want to play E2 and bishop C3.
Check.
Or E2 and D2, R2, D2, C3 for here. Okay, got him. Hamlet. Hi. Sometimes you just want to play moves that kind of liberate your pieces. The straight jacket with the pawn structure. You want to liberate your pieces and hem in the opponents. And sometimes you just play these moves intuitively. Like, you know, when I did that pawn thing, it just seemed to me that the bishop and rook wouldn't be so much straight-jacketed, and okay, I didn't calculate it much, but it worked out well, and usually it does in Blitz anyway. Now, in a long game, any sort of move like that, it needs careful calculation, of course. But yeah, if there's two connected pass pawns, they're going to be dangerous, generally speaking. So the intuition, I think, wasn't entirely ridiculous there. Okay, so here I'm thinking, you know, G5, and there's a game of Plaskett I've seen once where he arranges knight F6. I could do that with knight E4. This is crazy stuff, maybe you'd think. King H2, knight H2 to G4 to F6 later. Because if I get a form pawn on F6, it's kind of mating, generally speaking. And this is the sort of position where, if he's given me a free hand here, which I believe, let's see, if black gives me a free hand on the queen side, this elaborate plan might actually be achievable. If I can lock the queen side, it sort of virtually gives me a free hand. Yeah. Now this is ripe for a knight F6 plan anyway. I don't mind exchanging on C3. Yeah, he's poking into my dark squares. Now probably, okay, so I can start. I can't have to, that's illegal, unfortunately. Can I? He's gonna. Unfortunately, he'll take if I did that. But does that matter? If he forces bishop E4, does that actually matter? It might do, because that pawn's liberated on D4. So say knight C3 takes. I think he's got takes, and that pawn's liberated. So I don't want to play it like that. I want to play it like this, with knight H2 to G4 to F6. that's, I think this sort of plan here can get a fawn pawn. Even if he exchanges off light square bishops, then he'll give me knight e4 without hassle. Okay, so I've got both knight e4 and knight g4, but he's threatening knight e3 here. Okay, I might have to sack the exchange. If I sack the exchange on knight g4 for knight f6, if he doesn't take it, I can probably peel up the h file. If he does take it, there might be a way for some sort of hack attack. En route, I'm protecting e3 here as well, point of note. Okay, I'll just move the king. Let's get ready to sack the exchange here. If it's an exchange for a pawn, in fact, with knight g4, knight e4, I'll get knight f6 with a knight staying on f6, which should be dangerous enough. If I can pick out a pawn for the exchange, I think that's reasonable compensation. The only thing, this diagonal could be dangerous.
Check.
Okay, so what if I hold on to the diagonal for a moment, try and pick up this pawn, then try for knight e4, knight g4. Right, try and hold this, as you can come around the queen side. Can I queen a8, knight e4, queen a3, queen e3? Okay. Can I play queen e3 immediately here? Oh, there's queen b3. Okay, that's his point. Let's get out of that pin. No, I don't know the point of that necessarily. Is it bishop a3? All right. So I'll play rook e1, rook c2, knight e4 to f6. Okay, I'll try and work with the knight on f6 here. Let's go rook c2, queen b2. Okay, knight g4 there, holds h2. So bishop a3, rook e1, rook c2, knight e4, queen b2, knight g4, with the possibility of some sort of attack, I hope. Right, if I just play queen takes e3 here, isn't that delaying him? Because I want him to play bishop a3, because then oh, I didn't see that one particularly. Don't tell me his idea is bishop f2. It's bishop f2, isn't it? No, I didn't see that. No, I'm getting tactically outdone here. Didn't see this. I don't think the knight f6 plan is going to see the light of day at this point. I wouldn't have thought it'd seen the light of day.
Check.
Any ideas? I wonder. Knight f6, knight e4. So the whole rook down now. And the energetic play that I didn't anticipate. Knight f6, knight e4. Doesn't do anything really.
Check.
Maybe it attacks the bishop. Hold on a sec. Attacks the bishop. And bishop goes to h4. And what? Nothing. Going into a pin here because rook a1. I want to stop rook a1. Any cheapos here? Queen e2. What about king f3 for king g4? Try and munch that bishop with my king. Hold this for a moment. So I'm threatening king g4 maybe. Carnivorous king or what? King g4, carnivorous king. Is that Steinitz that said the king is a fighting piece? So he's not giving me a chance, is he, with this move? I can take, rook takes king g4, bishops. If I'm not getting mated, can I just take on c3 here anyway and try and use all my pawns? I've got 6 million pawns now. Hopefully I'm not getting mated immediately with rook f2. Okay, I've got e3 there. If I have c5, I've got these two connected passed pawns now. So am I worried? I guess I should be pre-moving at this point. If I get b5 in, which is just stopped, it would have been interesting. I have to herd the pawns of my king.
Check.
Don't try this at home. I'm happy now. I've got my passed pawns. I don't need too much to make me happy. Passed pawns like this. Chess, like passed pawns, like music, has the power to make men happy, someone once said. Or they might not have. I might have adapted that quotation. No, I think someone had a more relevant one. Two connected passed pawns gaining strength. Hamlet didn't end well, did it? Okay. Thanks for the game, Parallax. I'm sorry. So I just want to say sorry on stream. Oh dear, oh dear. He tactically outdid me. What can I say? He tactically murdered me. I've been tactically murdered. You know? I'm sorry. Oh dear, oh dear. Dear, oh dear. That was tactical murder, wasn't it? Oh dear. I didn't really I don't usually go out my way to play from a rook down, honest. It's crikey. No, well played to the opponent though. I mean, I just didn't see that stuff. I mean, it's hard to keep control tactically in these Blitz games anyway, the best of times. Okay. Okay, on to another little story of a game. So the story unfolding here is, this looks at the moment, I'm going to use that G file actually. I'll use that G file. Knight E2, Bishop D2, Bishop takes. What about actually, if I took then E5 and Knight E4, that's got a familiar feel from the previous game to it. So trying to get a nice knight on E4. Aha, his A8 in some lines could be a tactical liability here. Is C4 his point to win material? C4 just wins, doesn't it? Because of knight C2. It wins an exchange. Oh, I am getting tactically murdered tonight. It wins an exchange. I didn't see the threat. What a moron. And if takes its check. Okay, so I'm losing the exchange now. Great.
Check.
Okay, it might not be the end of the world, but I'd say it wasn't what I had in mind. This wasn't the continuation that I had in mind necessarily. On the other hand, I've got a bishop pair here. E5 could be still interesting from the point of view of knight e4 and rook g1. I think knight e4 and rook g1, e5 knight e5 knight d5 knight e4 rook g1. Knight e4 rook g1. Actually, isn't a knight takes h5 and I can play rook g1 after? There might actually be compensation there. In fact, in desperation, he's giving me a piece back. Aha! I've still got. Okay, I can have it centralized though. Might be better to have it centralized. It's more flexible. Oh, d3 is winning the rook. And again, I'm just not seeing these tactics. d3 check. Then he takes the rook. Crikey, crikey. I've just lost 2 exchanges. I did not see this idea. Blimey, blimey. That was cunning. That was cunning. I'm gonna have to take these tactical combinations. I'm gonna have to take the bigger picture on them to see if I can. What can I do after? I seem to be falling into these tactical issues. Okay, so bishop d3 g6. Isn't there rook g6? Almost. Almost. If h4 bishop h4 rook g6 for sure. So I'm thinking bishop d3 is worth playing. g6 is not yet worth playing. But unfortunately, if I don't move that bishop, I'm sure he's going to snap it off. So when I can still do something with that bishop. Okay, now this one, is he going to sack the exchange to take that b pawn? b5, I've got a pass pawn, which, okay, I'm going to have to take the bigger picture here, and I'm looking at the 2 pass pawns. Basically, even though I've lost an exchange, I've got 2 pass pawns here. So I'm not too terrified of this position. Sometimes people do this intentionally for pass pawns. With his double pawns in the center, I can blockade with king d3. I'm thinking bishop b5. It's or king d3 is a nice blockader, surely. And then bishop b5 after. I'm a bit concerned if he sacks the exchange back, or should I not be? It's sort of equalizing, isn't it? These pass pawns will grow in strength if he lets me grow them in strength. Let's just hold on to my rook is not hanging totally. If his idea is the check for rook g3, I don't want to lose that pawn, so I'll allow this. He could undouble my pawns. That's a favour, isn't it? To undouble my pawns. So I'm back with the 2 connected pass pawns, the blockade square on d3, the pawn mobility on the king side, the bishop pair. I'm happy at the moment. g4, g5 looks okay. h4 just to blunt the rook before it starts mopping up my pawns. Okay, somehow I need to get my pawn inertia going. How? Maybe bishop a6 is possible here for b5 to get my pawns going. So b5, not pawn inertia, pawn mobility. Inertia is the opposite, isn't it? Mobility, not inertia. Okay, so bishop b4 or bishop a3 if he's going to be stubborn about it. What, am I losing that a4 pawn? Oh no. No, that wasn't intended to lose that a4 pawn. Okay, can I get a5 now in? I'm stuck though because he's got king b4 on the cards. Alright, that looks a little bit on the desperate side. I'm going to crack pass pawn over here with g4, g5, h6. Okay, h6 installs a pass pawn for me. which has to be very, very good news. I think I can. Okay, what's the plan now? Maybe f5 gives me bishop g5 to e7 to f8 to g7. That is a plan which involves losing a5, but it might be worth it. So if I have my bishop here, just to show, I can't show you, but okay, I'm going to go for that elaborate evil plan to checkmate his bishop. Okay, my furry white cat is elsewhere at the moment. Okay, but it's purring at that evil plan. Okay, James Bond style, bishop g7. So okay, let's have another. Shall we have another 3-minute auto pairing? A nice easy bunny, a GM. Okay, 2197. It's so easy, this auto pairing on the 3-minute. Okay, real Arthur S. Okay. Oh, he doesn't know that I'm a caveman. Apparently he's castled. Most people don't against me anymore. They've given up castling. So he's castled into, I'm hoping, an amazing attack here with h4. Caveman style h4. In fact, I've misplayed that already. I should have played, I think I should have played g5 first. 93 takes. Okay, g5, f3 takes. Can I try and castle queenside? Hold on a sec. Okay. Does he want to take on b7? Well, he's tempting me to play this. F3 is the concern. Maybe there's knight h6, not knight f6. Right now, g takes seems, or bishop g4. Maybe bishop g4 first, then g takes, or knight. Okay, I think bishop g4 first, and then takes. He's got rook takes. So at the moment, this isn't that convincing. I assume. But I've got some squares here, nevertheless. I believe I have some squares. So if I can castle queenside, maybe the story's just beginning here. If I can castle queenside. F5, knight g5. Isn't this E3 point a bit vulnerable? That's intriguing. What's that about? I'm not sure what that is even about. I don't know. There's no rook f7. Was this point rook f7? There's no rook f7. Was this point, I don't know, knight c6? There's b takes, queen b7 after. Oh, let's find out. Okay, let's find out. There's this one covering f7. Knight c6, b takes. And fists. He's just resigned. GM resigns. Oh, okay. I didn't think this session was going to have such a scalp, but I'm pleased it does. I think he just blundered. Yeah, that looks like a major blunder. I don't know what the idea was. I was really confused. But apparently this is, I'm equal here. Apparently, if he goes here, I thought he had a backward pawn problem. Maybe grandmasters don't like backward pawns or something. Okay. GM scalp already. I'm only halfway through. So, any more scalps? Okay. 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 If he takes knight e4, I'm thinking bishop g5 and knight d6. But this is very, very optimistic. I'm just hoping, you know, the dark squares is... the webcam needs to be lowered a bit. Oh, sorry. Is it? Or move to the right a bit? Move. I can move it to the... move it to the left a bit. I'll move it to the left a bit. And up. I'm hoping this is a little bit better. Okay, so bishop g5, he's going to stop, yeah. And can I get into any light squares over here? If I try and break up his light squares. So bishop d2 and rook c1. No? Okay, I don't want to allow d3 particularly. I have a feeling that would be very, very bad news to allow d3. So he's got that massive light square bishop. This isn't such hot news at the moment. Unless I'm doing something naughty with my knights at some point. Anything naughty with the knights? Can I deprive him that if I play b4 just to try and deprive the c5 square, is that something? I don't know if that's something or if it's not. Now with that light square bishop, I would think he's doing well. Let's try and set up some cheapo with knight g5 here. Okay, he's not that keen to castle. Obviously terrified about knight g5. Clearly. My e5 is vulnerable. Knight g3? He can take and then knight e5. So my knight e5 is on the way out, it seems. What about bishop f4, then b4 drops? Right. Okay, this one looks more attractive the more I see about the other variations. So I'll go with losing the e5 pawn here. Try and weaken him on the light squares. Is he going to take on f3? I assume this is the idea for knight e5. He's having some caution over this. You can just take here and then knight takes e5. Is there some caution here? Let him have b pawn. I have knight e4 to d6 maybe. He's not going for the b pawn now. Okay. Knight h4 to no. Can I open up this
Check.
e file? Because he's not going to castle. So I'm going to have to do this. I don't want to get mated. Hold on a sec. Rook e5, bishop g5 after. Rook e5, knight e5, rook e5, queen e6, bishop g5, f6, queen g6. Okay, let's have a look at this. f6, queen g6, hg, rook g5. Okay, there's bishop f6. Rook c1, king h2. I did queen g3. Okay, queen h6 idea. King h7. Okay. I can try and go for Perpetual if nothing else. Queen g6.
Check.
There's h6, rook g8, queen f6. We'll just take the Perpetual.
Check.
I think given the time situation and his...
Check.
I think I just take the Perpetual. That was, yeah, just went for his king. He wasn't castling. So that was a bit, I went a bit crazy there. Okay. Trying to break into his king there. Right. Okay. Some sort of Austrian attack here. And bishop e3 and castle. Alright, what if I castle queenside and g4 there for f5? Okay. g4 for f5, knight b4 a3, knight d3 rook d3, knight d7, maybe e5 takes f5, just to blunt the bishop. e5 takes f5. Try and play for this. Is how dangerous is this? If I play bishop takes e4, he's got bishop c3 with the idea of queen b4. If I take here queen b4 bishop c1 is not yet mating me, but can I do better? If I take there I get mated there, so I think I do need to go into this continuation with bishop c1. Okay, so his knight's hanging. Might be the possibility of rook d5. Rook d5, queen b6, rook b5 to unpin. So knight c5 here. What about bishop d5 to b3 to unpin? Knight a4, bishop b3 to try and defend b2. Bishop b2, knight a4, bishop b3. He's got knight c3 check. No, I've got bishop c3 there. As long as I unpin with bishop b3, this shouldn't be killing. Bishop takes, knight a4, bishop b3, knight c3. Let's unpin here. Right, so knight g5, is that plausible? Knight g5. Looks as though it's plausible for knight e6. Right, knight e6 here. There's going to be a discovered check. He doesn't do anything.
Check.
Queen c4 to evict his queen. This queen's pretty dangerous. What about a4 just to stop this a4 from him? So queen b6, a4. Alright, can I not just take that? Let's try and extinguish the flames here. It's bishop c4, rook c8. Bishop e6. Maybe better. No immediate tempo gain. Rook f6 is a tempo gain. a3, b3, knight. There's no knight d5 there. Rook f6, rook e1. Alright, there's a tempo gain there. Okay, there is a tempo gain with rook f6. Maybe rook d8 there. Okay, can I get to play? Why can I take takes? Is taking with bishop b2 too cheeky? Avoids that form pawn issue. This could be too cheeky by far. I'm just wondering, I don't want the form pawn stuff. If I can play to eliminate this bishop. Rook b7, h4, h5. h4, h5. Okay, h5, g5. Is g5 first better? Maybe. Try and wrench open the h file. So if he takes rook h1, try and wrench open this h file. c3, bishop c2 after. If the knight moves rook e7, this pin is pretty nasty. There's g6 there. Hold on, there's g6. That looks dangerous. No, I can't unpin after that. Okay, what about rook d1 first? Just to avoid rook f1. So I want to play rook takes on g6. Let's keep this closed. Knight d4, rook h5, knight b3, ab. Okay, can I actually just do this? Hang on a sec. Rook takes, check.
Time warning.
I'm threatening mate there, aren't I?
Check.
Uh-oh. What have I just done?
Check. 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 Check.
Oh no. Oh no. I think I was trying to work out a forced mate. I'm sure there was a forced mate here with rook h6. I didn't go for it. I want to get this position. We have this position. I'm thinking almost this is mating. It's +2 for white. What happened in the game here? Rook h1, check. Oh, king a1. Hold on a sec. So he plays here. I play c3.
Check.
Alright, get this position. This works out. This is very tactical, very difficult to play, to find maybe king a1 and then this and this. It's very difficult. So the way I played it immediately, he was at least equal with perpetual chess.
Check.
Yeah. Check. Okay, that was getting fun there. Oh. Okay. Okay. 3-minute multiplying again.
Check.
It's not sacking the exchange, I guess. Now I'm attacking his queen, right? Okay, I'll move the queen. Okay, can I play d5? The knight d4. Right, bishop b5 here looks interesting. c6, dc. Almost looks sort of dissolving my problem pawn though, so I might as well go for it. Alright, that looks like a nice target. Bishop f4. Now can I play knight takes c6 here? Bishop takes, queen takes, bishop takes. No. Bishop b3. Does that do anything? What about here? For a moment. Okay. c5 is liberating that bishop. This is a bit of a pain. Oh. Okay, structurally getting compromised there. Structurally getting compromised. Okay. Cheapo, bishop h7. Will he fall for it? Maybe not. What about rook d2? Knight a4, I can take that, hitting the rook. Okay, he's sorting that out now. Oh, bishop e4 here. Okay, so go. He's about to play f4, killing my bishop. My poor bishop. Oh boy. That bishop's a goner, isn't it? Because he gets a tempo here. It just destroys my bishop. And this is a fantastic idea here. Sacrifice the exchange.
Check.
To avoid f4 disaster. Wasn't ideal. Can I not get a pawn? I wonder if I can get a pawn for this. It's bishop d4 maybe. I'll take b6 or bishop c6 to try and. Oh, he's on my bishop there. Oh man. Bishop a6. Rook d3, bishop a6 to try and get a pawn back. Knight a4, bishop c4. He's got danger. What about bishop g8 to try and get some pawns over here? I can skewer these pawns with my knight square bishop. Oh no, are you telling me he's now trapping this bishop over there? Oh dear, oh dear. He's trapping that bishop over there. It's one disaster after another in this game. Oh, I thought he just munched. Okay, h5.
Time warning.
Wow. Okay. Okay. There's no point. Okay. That's one disaster after another. Okay. TJA. I am. Who's TJA now? Helg A. Nordahl. He's giving me time odds on the 3-minute game. I need it. Give me the time odds. I need it. Let's have some water. Oh, come on. Must be around. Auto pairing. Okay. He is around. Yeah, let's try and weaken d4. If I take or not, maybe I want to play e5
Check.
soon. So e5, d5. I think I counter in the center or not. I don't know. Is this withstanding an attack? Can I play g5 here to try and block things? I don't know if that's any good. Try and undermine his center. CD, queen e6. Okay, he's got the bishop. He's going for that pawn for some reason. Can I not take a centre pawn out here? Is that a big problem? Go for knight f4 after. Knight b4. Knight f4. We'll open up my bishop. The knight on f4 doesn't seem that bad. I don't mind him taking there, I think. Rook c8. No, the bishops control quite a lot of squares. I can take on h5. Maybe I should just take this. Take this one. Oh, he's got a massive pass to a pawn, right? Yeah, that looks pretty logical. That a pawn, that it could do a lot of damage. Yeah, I think I need a plan against this. Maybe check and knight d4. Try and interrupt the bishop. It's too late. Knight d5, knight takes, e3. Okay. This doesn't look clever.
Check.
This looks gone. This is gone, isn't it? This is well gone.
Check.
He's got 20 seconds to finish me off. What do you do? 15. Go for a stalemate. Stalemate possibility.
Check.
Okay. Give me time odds. See what happens. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I will play. I will play. Okay. If it wasn't for the show, yeah, I swear. Okay. Okay. Sorry. But I don't know what the time odds is about. I don't know if it's a wind-up, but okay, if he wants to do that, fine. I'll play to the end, basically. It's not as if his rating's much bigger than mine. It's like a 20-point difference, yeah. I don't know what that's about. I don't know. Okay. Maybe he wasn't ready. But you know, you actively go on the ICC auto pairing. I would have thought someone's ready, but okay, maybe he wasn't ready. I don't think what he did was nice, to be honest. I'm sorry, but what he did, you know, not starting the game wasn't nice either. So if that's the way it is, that's the way it is. Yeah. I'll take here and bishop f3.
Check. Check.
Okay. No, I hope that guy's on. We can have 3 minutes each and we'll see what happens. If he doesn't want to have the controversy around the game, we'll see what happens on 3 minutes each. Because as far as I can see, you know, his rating wasn't that much higher. So let's take out the wind up and we'll have a game. But okay. So g4 f5. So queen h4 here on knight d5, maybe knight d5. Okay, check here. So it takes knight h4 maybe? Is that f5? Queen g3? Bishop d6. So bishop d6. Bishop d6 here. So yeah. His his bishop's pinned at the moment. That's not a problem. Okay, bishop's pinned at the moment. If I can get rook e7, that'd be good.
Check.
Queen g4 is f3. Queen g5. Can I play queen g5? Trying to keep that pin and rook e7. Knight f3 to get the knight back in the centre. Rook e7 here looks good for knight f5 coming in. Knight f5.
Check.
Right, so rook f2 here. Trying to get a tempo. Does he go back? He goes back.
Check.
Okay, knight takes f3 here. Using queen and the knight is resigned here. Okay. J Boras. Alright, so this bishop g4, I don't think it's that terrible a system. So bishop g7 coming up. Hold b4 here. c6 or c5 maybe. c5, dc, knight c6, knight d7. I'll take on f3 and knight e5 here. I'll take here and knight e5. There's f4. What about e6 here? Maybe that's better. Queen e7 for knight e5. Okay, so knight e5 looks okay. Knight e5 looks okay. Knight h5 to f4 after. The f4 square looks okay. Just to stop f4 was knight g4 if f4. Knight g4 anyway. Knight f4 here, knight d6. What about this? For a moment. If knight e5, bishop e5, that looks okay for knight f4. Okay, skewer time with bishop c5. Okay. Does that necessarily... Is that necessarily killing? I don't know. If I have knight f4, I have queen g5 to unskewer. Isn't got queen d8 here just yet. I have queen g5 on the cards to unskewer, which means rook takes d1. Well, knight e2 first, knight takes, rook takes d1, knight e2 first, king g2. Actually, isn't there knight f3 check here? King h1. Bishop takes c3 is killing surely because the rook takes d1.
Check.
So I'm weakening d1 here. Rook takes d1 looks end of game to me, potentially. Holding d8 here. Bishop takes b4. Queen d4. Okay. That's the end of that one. Okay. He was provisional though. That was only his fifth. Okay, that was only his fifth. Auto pairing rating. This is hippopotamus, not to be underestimated. I will go for e5. Okay, and where does this bishop belong? What about d5? Just trying to bust black up. If I play c4 bishop b2 later, at least this bishop won't be dead. Oh, there is knight b4 though. I'll just give him knight b4 on the plate.
Check.
Which he hasn't taken. Okay. He could have just took out my light square bishop there. As it stands, bishop e4 looks tasty here. Or queen a4. Bishop e4, queen d7, queen a4. There's b5. I'm thinking I kick off with bishop e4. Well, now there's queen a4.
Check.
Just winning that bishop. I'll take on e5. And bishop c6 here looks killing.
Check.
Thanks for the game. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I really want to play that IM that wants to give me time odds again. I'm wanting to hunt him. Maybe I can just directly rematch him. We should have a rematch against that guy. Where is he? I want a rematch. Is this the guy? Okay, match TJA 30. Oh, he's not logged in. Okay, otherwise I would have liked to rematch. Okay. If I take d5. Alright. Okay, a6. For b5, bishop e7. Bishop b7 looks as though I've got an active position. Bishop b6 might be dangerous. Knight f3 for queen h4 though on bishop b6 is possible. Could play that anyway. Knight e5 queen h4. Knight e5 queen h4. Is he trying to trap my queen with bishop g5 coming up? What about f5 for f4? There's knight c4, that might be handy. Is he going to start to win material here? Alright, if I take on d5, well, I've got the chance. Bishop takes g7. That knight's horrible. I think I have to remove that knight, it's just too much to bear. So can I not just go here? Try and take on b2 maybe. e5 queen b6 check. Queen c4 queen b2. e5 queen b6. Queen e7 queen b2. Okay. This pawn, how dangerous is that? I go rook d8, queen d4 after. I've got active rooks. c3 is not really doing anything. If I double rooks, alright, so queen e6 or queen f5 is a better blockade here. Double rooks, queen e4, rook d2, h5 to stop g4 just in case. Double rooks, queen e4, there's always f5. Okay, he's winning all my pawns, that's nice. h4, is that worth trying to lock down his king side? Might be. H4 might be worth playing. Okay. Queen e4 with the idea of rook d2 taking rook d1, king h2, queen e1. This looks dangerous. Yeah, that looks dangerous, but I don't want to drop c4 as well. On f5, that's too dangerous for my king. Okay, so I need an idea here which doesn't allow f5 probably. I can't really see that. Rook d1, queen c4, rook takes here for rook d2. I'm running out of pawns. Let's see if he plays this. Probably plays f5.
Check.
Even worse. Okay. Try and keep things blocked or not. Probably. No, it looks pretty terminal, this. Yeah, it looks terminal. f6, queen g6. I wanted, yeah, it's not happening.
Check.
f6, king e6.
Check. Check.
Pre-move time. King c5.
Check. Check.
Oh.
Check.
Uh-oh, yeah. Okay. Okay, just pre-moving to try and salvage some points there. I know, I'm dirty, I'm a dirty rat. I'm a dirty, disgusting rat. I know. Okay. But remember, it's only 3-minute chess without increment, so pre-moves are part of the site, they're part of the interface. But yeah, it's been naughty. That was naughty. Rook d1, knight b2, rook d2. If I just take knight e4 here, do I just, what about rook e2? What about just rook e2? Bishop e7 coming up. This looks okay. Can I dislodge these knights? Knight b5 and d6. Come on, knight b5 and d6 looks killing because of f7. If knight takes, then knight takes and queen f7. Otherwise that pin, I've got 2 pins. This one, that one. Knight b5 and d6 looks killing here, as far as I can tell. which he's stopped now. I can play this anyway. Now he's going to blockade. I know there's bishop f4. I'm threatening d6 for f7, which he's stopped now again. So that sorts out everything except for bishop c4 and rook e7, or bishop e7 and d6. Might be the better way of doing this for that pawn. Queen d7, d6. That's, losing b5 is a hassle. That pawn is surely too dangerous there. There's bishop f6 trying to go for his king here. You can take on e2 and play the check and win the rook. No, he's not winning the rook. Maybe this is the way to play it. Bishop f6. He's kind of winning the rook. Can I sort out my king here so I don't have to weaken my back row? So king g2 for bishop f6, so that any bishop f6, rook f6, rook e2 check is not losing e2. So if I play king g2 for bishop f6, that looks like something. Bishop f6 here, I thought was something. Oh man. Right, I need to play d7. There's rook d6 there. Okay, I need to protect this. Otherwise there's rook d6. I want to play rook c1, rook c1, rook c7, rook d... Ah! There's no way of playing d7 here, is there? There's going to be no way of playing d7 on this. Okay. Watch the king in somewhere. Rook e3, king e4 for rook d3 for d7 after. Take and then d7. So while he's not paying attention to d7, he might not be. On the other hand, he is. Okay. There's any way of getting d7 in? Find the C file. He's going to block with king e6. There's d7 here. No, he just queens. 22 seconds. There's d7 here. 21 seconds. What does he do? King e6, d7, rook c8, d7. Do I pre-move d7? Maybe I should just pre-move d7. What's the disaster of that if I pre-move that? Can't see one. Okay, thanks for the game. Okay, maybe make this next one the last game. Or I could play some free. This is 3 minute. No, okay. I could play some bullet or several bullet. I don't know. There's two or three bullet. Do you want 2 or 3 bullets on this session? Two or 3 bullets. What do you reckon? Or just another 3 minute? Okay, trend friend. Make this maybe the last 3 minute game though. Who's trend friend? I have interest. Okay, not sure. Alright, so knight b6 for e5. without dropping d5. That's going to be hard to achieve. Yeah, it's going to have a massive bind now on e5. Okay, that's great. It's going to have a massive bind. As compensation, I might have some light square play. Oh, he's got bishop h6 there. This looks mega dangerous already. And he's got bishop h7 threatened. And there's bishop h6 on there. What about that? Rules out. What about h5 by there's knight g5? I'm probably just getting mated there. What's knight g5? This looks really dire. What about bishop e7 to try and address? Bishop takes on knight g5 by elimination. Bishop e7. Right. Oh, this is just sick. If I take with the queen, just to avoid the queen being a liability to bishop h7 and knight g5. Can I do this? To avoid knight's tempo. This is not what I wanted from this line. This is a sick bind. I think I'd rather just sack a pawn than have this bind on the position. Now threatening knight g6. So like queen f6. There's knight d7 there, winning, I assume. Takes both rooks. What about queen d6? Is that plausible? There's queen h5. Queen g5 by elimination again. f4 queen h6. Knight. F4
Check.
queen h6. Ah, that just wins, doesn't it? That was sick. That was sick. That was a nice combo there. I'll just, yeah, it's nice back row, mate. I don't know, that position seemed very dodgy at the opening. Okay, end on a couple of bullet games, I think. I'll go on the 1 minute auto pairing. Okay. And try this naughty knight d6. Really spot that. Doesn't do anything here, that's the problem. It just leaves pieces hanging the way he's played it. But
Check.
Here it's actually quite handy. Okay. Bishop g3 and d6. c3. Just to blunt the bishop. Bishop g, knight d4. Okay, bishop g3 for d6. Does knight e5 any good to try and weaken the king side here? Bishop g7. Bishop g2 coming up. I'm hoping he's losing material here.
Check.
So rook d5. No, apparently not. Okay. Everything's protected. Oh, panic. Okay. Oh, it meant h4. I meant h4. Ah. Now he's, yeah, just giving him an extra tempo for his attack. Alright, so queen e4 for queen g6. Alright, bishop e4 for not much. Okay, before I get torn to shreds, f4, trying to open up things. And now what?
check, 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 check.
Alright, you can more legitimately use pre-moves in Bullet, so I don't feel such a dirty rat for that, because that's definitely an integral part of Bullet chess in my view, pre-moves. E5 for bishop a6. Okay, so a5 for a4. Knight h5 for knight f4. One day that would have been a plan. We'll try and prompt king h2. Okay, takes here. Knight f6 or e4. Knight e5. Okay, bishop g6. I'm just taking for a moment. Alright, so bishop g6. Okay, I can double the pawns.
Check.
Queen e8. I'll take this e file with rook e8 without hopefully getting mated, though. I'll try and avoid getting mated. Try and break the pawn structure here. That's not happening. Okay, there maybe. Can I bring my king in?
Check.
Right, we got a
check.
Pretty much drawish rook and pawn ending.
Check.
So he's lost that pawn. I know. Yes. Yes.
Check. 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 Check.
Threatening. Naughty business.
Check.
Push the king out. Get the king off the
Check.
rank.
Check. 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 Check.
I got him on time there, but it says 0-0. I'll just show you the. Yeah, I think I might have won that on. Yeah, I'm sure he's very happy about that. Yeah, he must be ecstatic about that. Okay, I think that's it for this week. Okay. I'm sorry for being in a bad mood for most of it. I'm sorry for being in a bad mood. I'm sure it's the heat as well. Sorry for being. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. 1 fun, 10 boring. 1 fun, 10 boring. And my head's chopped off as well on this webcam. Okay, I need to. If you want to vote, that'd be cool. Yeah. Okay, I hope you found it interesting anyway. Okay. Thanks. I'm just gonna my Cobra. Okay. Okay, we're ending here, and have a good weekend, relaxing weekend, a happy weekend. Go see a film, watch the tennis. Don't get stressed out about Blitz chess or people giving you time odds cheekily. Okay, thanks so much. Cheers then.